On the Hobo road, I roll alone. Stars above.
Welcome back, my tarp-tucked titans of tenacity, my blanket-bound barons of boredom, my rust-ridden royals of resilience. Hobo Yeti here, broadcasting live from somewhere between yesterday's regrets and tomorrow's maybe. The great outdoors still charges rent, the city's allergic to compassion, and you're still alive. So, you're already winning. People think long-term homelessness turns you into some enlightened minimalist monk. Nah. It mostly turns you into a part-time weatherman, part-time raccoon, and full-time existential comedian. Today, we're diving into the fine art of surviving the long haul, mentally, physically, and without eating your own sanity for breakfast. So buckle up if you've still got a belt, and let's talk about what it really takes to stay standing when society's already pronounced you horizontal. 1. Your tent becomes your personality. You'll know every zipper by sound and every leak by taste. The thing you once called temporary morphs into your depressing studio apartment with bonus mildew. You start rearranging bins like you're auditioning for a minimalist HGTV show nobody watches. Eventually, you realize you've had longer relationships with tarps than with people. You begin to appreciate small things. When your rainfly behaves, when raccoons negotiate politely, when your sleeping bag doesn't smell like philosophy, don't romanticize it. It's your little nylon coffin of comfort, stitched from equal parts hope and resignation. Still, it's yours. And ownership, however accidental, starts feeling like defiance. 2. Gear is religion, and the sermon is always good enough. Forget the influencer nonsense about titanium cookware or ultralight tents. The holy trinity of the road is simple: cheap, light, and replaceable. You will lose it, tear it, or watch it vanish into someone else's destiny. High-end stuff is a heartbreak waiting to happen. Duct tape is your savior, bungee cords your disciples, and zip ties your sacraments. You'll rebuild your altar of survival more times than you can count. Eventually, you stop praying for durability and start worshiping improvisation. Function replaces fashion. A patched tarp and half-dead flashlight might not impress Instagram, but they'll keep you alive. That's what faith looks like out here. Frayed but holding. 3. Cleanliness stops being about pride. It becomes stealth. Looking unremarkable keeps you invisible, and invisible is safe. A shower is no longer luxury, it's camouflage. You'll learn to scrub up like a field surgeon with baby wipes and stubborn dignity. The goal isn't to sparkle, it's to blend. Smell neutral, act ordinary, avoid notice. The world treats dirty like a crime, so you adapt like a spy. You're not tricking them, you're surviving their prejudices. Your reflection becomes a test, not of vanity, but of strategy. Each clean hand and washed face whispers rebellion. They can pity what they can see, but they can't arrest what they can't recognize. Staying clean is your invisibility cloak, stitched from soap, sweat, and spite. 4. Never tell anyone where you sleep, ever. Your camp is your kingdom, and the first rule of kingship is secrecy. Trust equals eviction. Even friendly wanderers can turn curious, and curiosity leads to theft or trouble. Be Bigfoot. Seen, never found. Use routes that confuse even you. Shift paths. Leave no tracks. A good hiding place is half shelter, half ghost story. You'll learn to vanish between tree shadows and half-forgotten trails where maps lose interest. Isolation keeps you breathing. Every footprint you erase is one more sunrise, guaranteed. Some call it paranoia. You'll call it Tuesday. The world can't invade what it can't locate, and peace out here is measured by how long it takes anyone to realize you exist. 5. Comfort becomes rebellion. Each upgrade, no matter how absurd, is an act of defiance against despair. That slightly bigger tent, victory, a pillow that isn't balled-up jeans, civilization. When you measure wealth in square feet and dryness, progress feels revolutionary. You stop chasing perfection and start chasing margin, just enough room to stretch without knocking into reality. You become a connoisseur of minor improvements, a tarp that doesn't leak, socks that match, a bin that latches. To outsiders, you're still roughing it. To you, it's a symphony of small wins. Every comfort you carve out from chaos is proof you're still steering your own wreck. Survival isn't glamorous, it's ergonomics with attitude. 6. Weather stops being conversation, it becomes choreography. You don't check forecasts anymore, you predict by scent, by sky color, by the way birds act. The clouds are both muse and executioner. Rain isn't poetic, it's policy. Wind negotiates with your tarp like a bad landlord. You learn degrees of suffering, wet, too wet, and biblical. Every drop of moisture becomes a negotiation with sanity. Yet somewhere in that absurd intimacy with the elements, you find rhythm. The world strips you down until all that's left is instinct. You hate it, you respect it, it keeps score, and sometimes it spares you. Weather doesn't care about your plans, but it will teach you to respect timing like religion. 7. Loneliness moves in uninvited and starts redecorating. It names the empty space beside you, makes jokes at your expense, and steals your last bite of anything. You'll talk to trees, animals, ghosts of memory. They're good listeners, terrible conversationalists. The silence thickens until you start narrating your own life just to hear a human voice. It's not madness, it's maintenance. You fill the air because if you don't, despair will. Out here, companionship is borrowed, not bought. You'll find connection in passing glances, shared cigarettes, and the sound of distant traffic reminding you civilization still exists. Solitude sharpens you, but too much cuts deep. Learn when to step back into noise before your own echo starts lying. 8. The rules change the longer you're out. At first you believe in systems, then you meet systems. Idealism gets traded for intuition. You stop explaining your story because explanation invites judgment. You start recognizing the difference between curiosity and surveillance. The new commandments are simple. Stay unseen, stay sane enough, stay mobile when you must. Keep your dignity, but don't advertise it. Paranoia becomes pattern recognition. There's freedom in boundaries if you draw them yourself. The world likes categories. You learn to be a footnote. It's not cynicism, it's calibration. You navigate hypocrisy like weather, letting it pass without taking you with it. In time, the silence becomes your signature and your safety net. 9. Food becomes both art and gamble. Hunger teaches creativity faster than college. You'll find theology in gas station sandwiches and grace in dollar ramen. Expiration dates are just suggestions for amateurs. Every bite is strategy. Protein now, regret later. You stop pretending to be picky. You bless the feast and the famine equally. The world runs on convenience. You run on opportunity. You hoard like a monk and eat like a realist. Hunger humbles and sharpens you in equal measure. You learn gratitude for pantries and reverence for warmth. Out here, flavor is optional. Survival mandatory. You'll develop opinions about canned chili, the way sommeliers debate wine. Appetite is philosophy, disguised as instinct, and every meal's a sermon. 10. The future stops being a calendar and becomes a pulse. You live in hours, not months. Chargers, socks, and batteries become holy relics of continuity. You stop saying someday and start saying still here. The world measures success by trajectory. You measure by endurance. Time folds in on itself. Morning, night, same thing. You chase small victories, warmth, quiet, a working zipper. The longer you last, the simpler the math becomes. You learn that survival isn't progress, but persistence with attitude. The horizon doesn't promise anything, but neither does it close. Tomorrow's optional, today's non-refundable, that's the deal. And somehow, you keep signing it. That's either madness or mastery. Probably both. So yeah, that's the secret to long-term homelessness. The grind becomes gospel. You stop waiting for rescue and start engineering your own version of peace with spare parts and dark humor. Every clean shirt, every dry night, every half-decent laugh, it all stacks up into a quiet defiance the system can't erase. You're not thriving, you're adapting, and maybe that's enough, maybe it always was. I hope your road is a good one, and if you're homeless, I hope it doesn't suck for you. And remember, you're still here. That's the punchline. Peace.